I noticed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men were not asked to lead singers. And I thought, no, I thought I would ask if that hurt any of you all's feelings. Wait a minute, don't answer. Yeah, you're going to. But then I thought about asking the congregation how many feelings would be hurt if we led, and I figured everybody else would raise their hand. So I understood why they didn't ask. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. A new year. A new year brings a lot of things. It's the same thing. It's sort of like Suzanne shared with me a story. Sorry, I didn't have to. She shared a story with me when she was younger about a new year. It dawned on her. And so one year when she was small, when it struck midnight, she stuck her head outside to see a new year and realized that it was the sun this year. That's the reality of it, isn't it? Got a new year comes, a new year goes, and it comes with challenges. The book of Joshua has always been one of my favorites. It's a story of the children of Israel. Moses has died. Joshua is leading the children of Israel. But he's leading them to a land that was promised to them by God. A land that was supposed to be magnificent and marvelous, but there. Joshua, while commissioned by God to do such, takes out on the task. With a promise by God that that land would be theirs. And so they get to the river. And get time to cross the river. And as they do, one of the things that they decide is when Joshua reading verse 4, there's an interesting statement. The children themselves, they told to stand or to go behind the ark, some 3,000 troops that when they took the ark and they let it cross the river. The children would be behind, but they would be at a distance behind. And the reason they would be at a distance behind is because the statement is, we have not gone this way. That's the same with the new year, right? We have not gone this way. Reading the book of Joshua. In Joshua chapter 3, after they get off the river, lo and behold, Joshua chapters 4 and 5, 6, we see the story that told. They first of all get to Jericho, and they are very successful in the campaign of overtaking Jericho. They get to Ai. And I'm sure they thought, not a problem. Everything will go all right. We haven't been this way before. God promised us that this would be our land. God promised us that we would overtake it. We're going to Ai. They're not successful. The reason they're not successful, they're told by God, is that they're sin again. What's the sin? The sin is aching, it's taking things from Jericho they wasn't supposed to do. And so they get rid of the sin and shame. They get rid of it. They go by God, go up against Ai. At this time, I'm wondering if old Josh was thinking, I'm wondering if Josh was not thinking, it's not a good idea. There's no seemingly hesitancy, there's no complaint. That is ridiculous. And then the children of Israel, and that is the decisive battle. You have to understand, because that what Joshua has done is military strategy that is it's genius because what he has done is he has divided the land of Canaan. So that those that were to the north of the children of Israel could not come south and fight, and those that were to the south could not go to the north and fight. So basically, what did that, and thus had, if you will, Israel in story. It doesn't be there while they usually do to obtain the land. Story story itself is interesting because it reminds us of a new beginning, a new life. There are lessons just to that point that we can learn about victory and victory in a new beginning. We haven't been this way before. The children of Israel have not been that way before. Number one, they have a promise. The promise was that the land would be theirs. That God would give them the land. We learned from that, and we have to go. While John would remind us that this is a victory that overcomes the world, I said, Paul would also remind us that there's a victory that's found throughout the as you described in St. Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. He would remind us that we're more than conquerors in chapter, and he would remind us in 1 Corinthians 15 once again that victory is ours. You see, the children of Israel had promised the land. We too have a promise of the land. But inasmuch as we have a promise of the land, which we also have to know that there's going to be bumps along the road. If the children of Israel didn't just walk in, if you will, land, and just begin to pick off and places and lands. No. There's bumps along the road. They lost at Ai the first time. They shouldn't have lost. They thought, well, God's with us, God's promised us, and yet they didn't. Like there's things that are not easy to do. It's not easy to understand. Paul reminds Satan, no teacher gave an advantage over the rest of the day, not ignorant of these devices. Always remind us, or rather, achievements that remind us of what he did. In Luke chapter 22, verse 31, Satan has desired that we may sleep in the roof. I pray for you, this faith will not fail. When you have it, and when you have return, strengthen the brethren. That verse means me a lot. Why? Because Peter is basically told by the Lord in faith. For springs when we return. When we come back. The Lord had to stress the idea of he's going to work when you come back. When you come back, I need you to use what you learn to help the brethren. There's going to be bumps along the way when you use, and you not, and you do. Then we learn a third lesson from the children of Israel, and that is that while it's difficult, we keep moving forward. You see, sometimes in life, we move one step forward and two steps back as the progress is often seen by not always gaining momentum and keeping it going. Progress is seen by just going forward. That's what they did. They didn't let the defeated Ai stop them. They didn't let the fact that they lost stop them. They listened to what God had to say. They listened to the fact that they had a problem. They got rid of the problem. They solved the problem. About moving, direction, and forward direction. Sometimes in our modern homes around him, we're going to take themselves back. Sometimes Satan's going to get the best of us, and we're going to give in to the temptation, not wanting to, but just severely. But there's still the promise from victory. Our victory is found in Matthew 25, in which the Lord separates the sheep from the goats. And the Lord's well done, good and faithful servant. See, we're not going to get the love and trophy. We're not going to get a plaque to hang on a wall. We're not going to get a certificate of acknowledgement or of achievement. But we do get to read those two words. Having the faith of you, promise that God gives us the victory. The bumps that come along the way, the difficulties that is there. But the fact that we told shouldn't be moving forward. One day I'm gonna be receiving a few moving respond to the original version. I've never stated something.